You're engaging with the local people to build a sense of pride and to value their heritage first. Once that sense of pride and value is there as a stakeholder, they will invest their time, money, energy to make things happen. And they become the pivotal brand ambassadors of your region. First, I see there is a huge amount of heritage which is completely neglected. Secondly, the potential of tourism I see is tremendous. Third, I see that the value addition with other business opportunity that is there that also has a lot of value.
हेलो आदाब ग्रेटर कश्मीर इंटरव्यूज में आपका खैर मकदम है। मैं हूं नज़ीर गनाई और आज की सादा शुमारे में मेरे साथ एक ख़ास मेहमान है संदीप नवलखा who has been working extensively on heritage landscape of India and he is also the member of the trustee of Art of Living। संदीप नवलखा जी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमारे प्रोग्राम में। हेरिटेज की अगर बात करें तो वैसे भी जब आप कश्मीर में होते हैं so you see a lot of heritage around.
Right.
So tell us something about your initiatives and your organization.
So I run an organization called Atulniya Virasat Manyata Sansthan, which is a national organization with the idea to showcase India's tangible and intangible heritage, which is not listed by UNESCO or with Intact or with ASI, because we have listed more than 400,000 heritage sites in India. And Kashmir has a very important part in history, and it has some amazing heritage structures, which is what attracted me to come to Kashmir and document some of the most amazing buildings that you have here, and also the culture and the art and the craft and the textiles and the carpets and the paper mache, which is absolutely fascinates me because this is something that you can't find anywhere else in the world.
Now, when you talk about identifying the structures in Kashmir, what are the structures, what are the buildings that you have identified, और उनमें आप क्या करते हैं आइडेंटिफिकेशन के बाद उसमें क्या प्रोसेस रहता है?
The process for us is first to look for buildings in our first phase of work that we're looking at is building which has a huge wow factor to the eye, the appeal. For example, we documented the Jalali house, the Khankai
Mohalla,
the one of the houseboats, Sakoon. So these are, what gives an idea to the people, which is what we want to market this foundation globally, where people around the world can see the beauty and the wealth that we are sitting in India. And the process is that we first do the history documentation, then we do the geographical documentation, do the research, do the recce, and then we document through 3D cameras, which creates a holographic tour. We call them holo tours. And you can have an immersive experience of that property. It's a very unique concept. It's probably the first of its kind that we are doing in India, where you go through, see the monuments and buildings through holograms. So that's why major USP. But other than that, also giving them a plaque on the building so that, when there is a building which has been given a recognition, the owners and the stakeholders have a sense of pride. And that is very important because once they have a sense of pride and the next generation in their family or in their community can also experience that, this is a recognize it, so they don't demolish it and they don't vandalize it, because that's been our biggest problem in our country, that the heritage has not been given its due importance and recognition. So our foundation's job is to give its due recognition, create a sense of pride and ownership, so that the people in the community, in the neighborhood, and the stakeholders value their property.
And now, when you have a trend of changing names and renaming places in the country, does it really harm the heritage structure, heritage?
Definitely it does, because you see, when the name has been established, it's like your birth name is say Sandip. Now, supposing my cousins decide that, no, not Sandeep, we'll call him some Pidnas. Now, how can my recognition of 50 years of my age has been the Sandeep, and suddenly in my last phase of life, I'm going to be called something else? There's something called brand recognition. There's something called the locality. There is a history behind it. So I don't ever agree to changing names for the convenience of whoever it is, It should remain there, and they should understand why the importance of that name was. and glorify that if required. If not required, they could keep it on a low key and keep it subtle. But there are certain names which can be glorified, which has not been done. And I think people are doing it for their own personal vested interest. I have also seen in the heritage space, people are demolishing that, especially institutions which are temples, where they demolish, rebuild with the new, guru or the new person who has invested into that. In the name of renovation and restoration, they actually demolish and spoil the whole thing and put their own plaque there. They're restored and renovated by. But when you go there, you say, "Oh, what a mess they've done!
Yeah.
They've vandalized the property." So that is a big challenge.
I would come when you redo any property, especially the heritage, structure. What goes wrong in restoring that property? But before that, I would like to tell our viewers that Sandeep, along with his team, they have been organizing this heritage festival from some time now, and it brings a lot of stakeholders, a lot of policymakers on the same table, and the heritage part of this country is promoted to the global level. Uh, do you have any plans of doing such kind of activity maybe in this part of the world also?
See, we've done heritage festival, something called the Murshidabad Heritage Festival.
Murshidabad.
Murshidabad.
You originally come from Murshidabad.
Yes, I'm basically from Murshidabad. So this has been a very interesting journey where we've revived the whole district. In the sense that we've got trains introduced, we've got roads repaired, lobbied with the government, lobbied with the stakeholders there. We have this festival. Because of the festival, there was so much awareness that was created in the district that when we started in 2010, there were 12 hotels. Today there are 200 hotels. And today, Murshidabad is Bengal's #1 tourism destination. When we started, it was a lost and forgotten wealth capital of the world. It had 5% GDP. So that model of the festival, where local people, the children from colleges, the food, the whole experience of taking people through heritage walks, is enhanced to a point where it has been appreciated by people who are heritage lovers from around the world. One of my festivals, I had people from 22 countries coming to a remote location 200 kilometers north of Calcutta. And because of these festivals, there has been a complete socio-economic transformation in the district. And that has been really the benchmark of what any foundation or society or an organization should do to their locality. And it's very easy. It's just that you have to have patience and you have to have the time to invest to make it happen. For example, I had to go sometimes 20 times to a house to save them. Save one house 20 times, 10 times, 15 times. And today those houses have been saved, and one of the greatest success stories of transforming these beautiful old Havelis to museums and to boutique hotels and heritage hotels. So, when you take one step, 10 things follow with it. It's not just festival, it's creating the awareness of the region, which was what helps the transformation. This festival brings people from around the world, and I personally see Kashmir has a tremendous potential for hosting Heritage Festival, because you all are sitting here in the largest number of heritage, because every street, every place that I've been, I see some fantastic architecture, culture, food, craft, textiles. I mean, you are sitting on a whole wealth of heritage which needs to be promoted globally.
So talking about Srinagar, as you rightly said, you are sitting on a wealth of heritage. Do you think the government, the agencies, the non-governmental organizations need to really work on this, preserving this heritage?
I think, every individual who are residents and citizens of this area should look into it. Government definitely has the major role to play. Without the intervention and support of the government, it's difficult, because these are international events, and the local stakeholders like the hoteliers, the houseboat owners, the restaurants, the craft people, all of them will benefit. So definitely their participation is extremely important if you're looking at a larger transformation of the region through a festival. Because what most people have done during festivals is a very short-term objective. my strategy for a festival is a very long-term strategy where you're looking at a socio-economic development, and a very clear example of what I've done for Murshidabad in because of the Murshidabad Heritage Festival. There has been 2 cruise liners which operate because of the festival. There are 3 boutique heritage hotels which have come up because of the festival, and hundreds of other hotels. So, the point is that what is the socio-economic transformation reason for that, and what can it lead to? So, the reason for that is that you're creating awareness and you're engaging with the local people to build a sense of pride and to value their heritage first. Once that sense of pride and value is there as a stakeholder, they will invest their time, money, energy to make things happen. And they become the pivotal brand ambassadors of your region. So that's how we've been able to transform Murshidabad from the lost and forgotten wealth capital, which was 200 years back, today as the preferred tourism destination in Bengal.
In your visit to Kashmir, what do you generally see? I mean, what impressions you got from the ground as far as the heritage is concerned?
See, first I see there's a huge amount of heritage which is completely neglected. Secondly, the potential of tourism I see is tremendous. Third, I see that the value addition with other businesses opportunity that is there, that also has a lot of value, because without that, the festival cannot be complete. You can't have a festival where you can just have one item or cultural program and over. You have to integrate everything that is here, which is food, your craft, culture, music, performances, dance, the heritage spaces, the tourism, hotels, restaurants, and creating that, giving them an awareness of the potential of investors coming in here. And that's possible when you bring people from around the world who could be your prospective investors, and they will collaborate with local people and do the transformation. If you have a roadmap ready while the transformation of during the festival, you can show them the potential, the opportunities. Those are part of the festival. The festival just can't be just culture and over. You have to have a long-term roadmap which should be shared to the audience who are coming. Even if you have 100 people coming specifically for the festival is good. What we do, we bring specifically small groups, potential groups, and we bring in the local people at large numbers so that they can also experience and get a glimpse of what people are wanting, why people are coming to their region, what is bringing them here, because then they start valuing then they see people coming from outside to appreciate their own skill sets and their own craft and their own heritage. Then they really feel the value for it. And of course, children, what we do is also this college kids, who are supposed to, for us, they become our ambassadors, because they were the ones who were vandalizing our heritage in Murshidabad. They were the ones who were not even aware of the heritage. Today, they are our brand ambassadors. They are ambassadors to the point they become tour guides, and they have got engaged. And now, today, if you get the internet, you see Murshidabad, you click and you get thousands of people talking about it locally. And once the Kashmiris start talking about their own and take pride in their heritage, it'll get viral. And once it becomes viral, there's no looking back for Kashmir.
Kashmir is not only a tourist spot, but it is a heritage place. They have lot many heritages which have not been explored till date. And Art of Living is going to just make it very important and imperative for all the people, next generation, to just promote and to preserve the heritages of Kashmir.
So when I decided to start this program, Murshidabad Heritage Development Society, one of the biggest factor was engaging with the youth. So what we did was we had programs done in the 6 months period with 10,000 youth, because they were the ones, because Murshidabad, as everyone knows, was the most dangerous part of Bengal. It had the maximum amount of crime, drugs, women trafficking, Bangladesh border. So, women trafficking, cattle trafficking, money laundering, everything was happening in that region. And the children were vandalizing. So what I felt that the children between the age group of 15, 16 and upwards, they needed the most attention. So I started collaborating with teachers of Art of Living and making them do this program, the happiness program. And suddenly we found the same kids who were criminals becoming important people in their villages, because they started doing this youth leadership training program, and they became literally, the backbone of the foundation to work as volunteers and help other people grow. And then the transformation was very easy for me, because initially, when you do a thing which is out of the box, people call me madman. And now, of course, people call me Mr. Murshidabad. So
I think that's something that the work speaks on, Mr. Murshidabad. इसके अलावा भी आर्ट हेरिटेज पे बहुत काम करने की बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है। संदीप जी, आपने और आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस ने बहुत सारे ऐसे इनिशिएटिव्स लिए हैं in rest of the part of the country. More is needed to be in Kashmir, and as far as the heritage is concerned, this place is very rich as far as the art and culture and heritage is concerned, and your organization is responsible, and I think there is some kind of groundbreaking work that needs to be done as far as these areas are concerned. आपने अपने इंटरव्यू में ये भी कहा कि आपका जो एक विजिट रहा जिसमें खानकाह मौला और जलाली हाउस को आपने ऑलरेडी जो है आइडेंटिफाई किया है, और उसके बाद सुकून जो हाउस बोट है उसको भी आपने आइडेंटिफाई किया। देयर आर मोर sites, more areas which need to be explored. That was Sandip Nowlakha ji, who was giving us an overview of what his organization is doing and how he is collaborating with organizations like Art of Living to extend the work of heritage and preservation in parts of the country. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.